Hi everybody, welcome to Materia D&D, where we play D&D our way. I believe this is session 98.
Yep,
Sounds right in my head.
yep.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a couple weeks since we played because we had the Thanksgiving holiday. We are light a few people today. One was expected, another one we were let known, and then the other one we're just hopefully he'll show up. Uh, but anyways, yeah, that's beyond the point. So last time. 2 weeks ago, the menagerie had successfully made it to Whitlaw, the metropolis of Cled, one of the major metropolises on the entire continent of Rune. This Austerian stone, well, not monolith, but like mega city, essentially. It's encompassed by stone walls, guarded. There are different quadrants and not quadrants. What did I call them? I don't even remember right
Districts.
now. Districts. There we go. Different districts throughout that have some sort of theme. However, they do tend to blend once you get towards the center. Um, the menagerie having been somewhat of note due to the rumors and the stories of their exploits down in Greenhill, and also thanks to their friendship with Meeker, who is a sheriff of the Verdant cause, were able to get through the checkpoint and some of the paperwork relatively quickly. However, they were escorted by the Magistrate of Justice, or Minister of Justice, however you want to look at it, of Whitlaw, and to the military quarter, or military district, same quarter, excuse me, known as the Thorns District. On the way, they did see at least one example of how the lizard folk, which essentially, and I know people don't necessarily like this descriptor, but they're so essentially like the gypsy folk of this city are being treated as cunning, slimy, only good for thieves, and trickery, as the guards and the magistrate basically accosted them for doing a street performance. Uh, However, that was just one example of the various things that is happening within the walls of Whitlaw. Uh, in Whitlaw right now, because of the time of the year, it is the Festival of Colors, which is a celebration of the colors coming back to the world um, as winter loosens its hold and spring uh, begins to blossom. So the vibrant greens, the blue skies, etc. Whitlaw is basically transformed right now. There are streamers and banners and lanterns of all different types of colors throughout the entirety of the city. Individuals are going around selling beads of different colors, vests of different colors, ceremonial garb, all for the sake of the Festival of Colors, which spans the entirety of the weekend. However, uh, throughout all this, the menagerie still has some business to get to, and at least Davis wishes to get out of Whitlaw relatively quickly. One point of business is we're calling it payment. It's the trophies that the menagerie has taken from Greenhill as thanks for liberating them and helping them set anew. And these trophies were taken by Oxrund, who was the rather large human wagon driver that was carrying their, the menagerie and their crates of trophies. And upon discussion, Meeker said it so that he was able to take it to one of his friends that owed him a favor, that owns a bar, uh, and that's where hopefully the supplies is waiting for the menagerie. Besides that, the menagerie, after their brief stint in the Thorn district, did separate themselves from the Minister of Justice, known as Hohen, and they ventured into the night to see the celebrations and the festivities of uh, words of Whitlaw and the Festival of Colors. There, they partook in some challenges and festival games, absolutely crushing it in all ways. Uh, using their skills and their abilities to perform real feats of skill, cunning, and expertise. Unbeknownst to the menagerie, they were being followed pretty much the entire time, as some word got out that they were going to be in town, and they met an individual, a orange-furred tabaxi that seems to be relatively well dressed, who later introduced himself as Tabard, uh, the student of the White Duke. Uh, he spent the evening with them, having fun, dining, and then convinced the menagerie to follow him to, well, his place of establishment, a uh, a building that he calls Tabard's tantalizing crow, a seemingly unimpressive building on the exterior that sits at the junction between the Pedal District, the Lyceum District, along the Cavern Straits. And upon entry, uh, the interior was something to behold. Piles of books, vases, different types of symbology, paintings, all manner of different types of fabrics uh, before them. There were streamers and lights and a warmth and a magic to this place. Upon entering, Tabard grinned, and that is where we left off. One other thing that I forgot to mention in the recap, I think it was a session, it might have been the previous session. I think it actually was a previous session, but of note, uh, the Menagerie does not have the best sentiments here at Whitlaw, especially due to the Sovereign who of Exchanges, who seems to be the lead figure here, and our monk seeking history lessons within the shadows did get confirmation that one of their early acquaintances, Amara, was well, without saying names, Amara was the daughter of the sovereign, and he allowed her to die. So,
What a guy.
Menagerie. Yeah, you guys, before you is Tabard's tantalizing trove. It is pretty late in the evening. Uh, However, I'm not entirely sure what you guys wish to do, but let me find some semi-appropriate music. So as he opens the door, and you actually, it was interesting because the door was almost on like the side of the building as you walked up, and as he opens, stepping in, the candles that are affixed on different sconces around the building, they're at a dim light, and then as you enter, they flare up, illuminating more so you could see. The windows, which didn't seem to be very, I mean, there doesn't seem to be much light outside. However, light is coming in through the windows almost unnaturally, making it brighter in here as well. Um, all manner of different types of things are scattered throughout, different collections. The ceiling seems taller than it should be. Uh, yeah, it's an odd space. Tabard just grins and says, "Welcome
Is
to
there
my trove."
anyone else here?
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same thing.
As you're looking around, at the far end of the desk, there is one individual sitting in a rather slender golden framed chair. It's actually depicted in the picture. She seems to be of maybe elven descent. From a distance, it's hard to tell. However, she does have very large, long ears. Um, Very like goldenish hair. Seems rather pale. In a kind of nice dark colored dress with some gold accents. Kind of sitting there, just kind of sitting to the side, and there seems to be some sort of stuffed teddy bear by the side, and he's kind of flicking its paw from time to time, not
So,
even
stupid
minding you.
question.
Hmm.
Am I with them?
Yeah,
I'm
all
pretty
of you are
sure I
together.
am, but I just
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
all of
couldn't
you are
here.
together.
remember exactly where we ended on.
No, we definitely lost you in the crowd.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
I
just
had
Cielo.
considered
Cielo
it a
now.
possibility.
No, no,
Oh,
all of you guys are together.
okay. Okay, cool.
So I got a question just for Dreg's sake. Does this look like it's overly posh, or does it just look like somebody who has a lot of stuff but just not enough space for it?
Um,
Trying to play on Dreg's viewpoint
no,
of
I understand.
wealth.
Luxury and stuff.
Yeah.
Way too much stuff, but also there is some really nice stuff in here.
So
Like
it's
the
not just
sconces are
knickknacks.
gold. Yeah, it's a blend, but it is more on the there's way too much stuff in here. But as
Got
you're
it.
kind of looking through it, your eye just kind of picks up on things that you just know have to be worth a lot,
Okay.
even if they're not magical.
I'm just trying to see if he's flexing just to flex.
You can give me if you want to try to read them. You can.
Sure. Insight?
Yeah.
As Sej adjusts his new tunic.
I got a 12.
Oh, however you wish to read it.
Okay.
Kind of what was
Staj, I
said.
know you're posh. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Davis is just kind of in awe. Like he's probably never seen anything quite like this.
yeah, like everyone, like even like we're kind of stepping in and looking around. There's just books. Like there are books stacked in random places. There's bookshelves there that are nice and organized. There's other bookshelves that seem completely a mess. There's different aromas coming from different vases. Different greenery actually growing just throughout the building. It's a whole type of collection. And Al's looking around as well.
I guess I'm kind of thinking of like Doc Brown from Back to the Future. A lot of expensive stuff, but like it's all over the place.
Yes,
Okay.
very accurate. And
So
you know,
so his shop is, so does it? It appears that it wasn't open for business, but he's letting us in, or is it?
mhm,
Okay.
it was not. Yeah, it seemed to be closed as the lights were pretty dim. He actually went when he went to open it. He slipped a key
Okay.
and then gave it to Jangle and opened up the silver lock on it.
Okay, so I missed that part. This is actually his shop, not his like residence.
No, this is yeah. He told you.
Okay.
He told you he was taking you to his trove,
Okay.
and then he introduces it as Tabard's tantalizing trove.
Well, I was thinking Trove is like this is my stockpile of good shit that I keep myself. That's what I was thinking, Trove.
I got you.
So,
So
okay.
Tabard, this is pretty impressive, but why are we here? I mean,
Is this a play on Trove of Knowledge? Are you just storing knowledge? Are you a
And
studious?
so while you're here, I heard some adventurers of reputation were here, and if I can make friends with some adventurers, they can make friends with me. It could be a win-win situation. And yes, it is a total play on Trove of Knowledge, but also of things. And he just kind of, parts his hands and looks around, like many of which have been collected over a course of a lifetime, traded for, and I would say there are some definite unique items. If you are lucky enough for them to catch your eye, I can talk about them.
I would have to say, for on CJ's behalf, he would almost definitely have Rock needling him for Swinefolk info. Like I would have to guess
I'd say that and spell books.
that too. Yeah. So however we
I
want to
was
do that, so have you? What about Blob? Do you know Blob Marley? Have you heard about Blob Marley? What about the Swinefolk from Volpine? Where are they? All this like just kind of frantically would be my guess.
I get that.
Have you heard about the swine people? Have you read about them? Have you
Yeah,
read
like
I,
have you
about
talked to them? Have they mentioned me?
them?
he, Tabard will feel like he's got this like kind of like sly grin to him. He says, "Hey, yes, I've heard of them. Yet to see them. Um, I don't know a blob. Interesting name. Uh, but I do know that they are safe within the Foxwoods, and I
Are
could
they
tell you more if I knew more. But what would you
are
like?
they still with the forest people, the dryads?
Um, last I heard, yes.
Well, that's good.
However, why the interest?
I'm trying to think how Rock would say this.
Dreg's gonna pipe up with a very gruff tone and go, "Maybe we should know more about this guy before we start telling him our life stories."
I mean, you're, he's actually probably right. You know, I'm trying, I'm trying to swoo and win you over here, but he's still right. Should maybe try to. Anyways, okay.
Oh, it's working. You're convincing, but I don't know the question. But also, what kind of have you gotten anything from the continent from Ushapti ever? I'm just like looking around the
Oh,
room,
I,
half
I,
interested in what he's saying.
I believe I have things from all corners of this world, from every speck of land. Ushapti, sand. Uh, give me one moment, and he'll kind of separate himself from the group, and the the female elven is kind of minding her own business, seemingly bored. Tam, Tam. Yeah, she looks at him. She's like, What do you want, Tabard? No one's supposed to come here for the next." He like looks at the window, looks at a globe, looks at her teddy bear. Like 12 hours. Why? This is my peaceful time. It's like, Tam, we have friends.
When he says friends, I'll go. Because I'm gonna
He's
let you guys know out of game. I don't trust this dude because in my mind, I see him as a lesser version of the sovereign. It's about
Fair
things.
enough.
that's fair. He'll
But yeah, as soon as like Davis will just kind of awkwardly would be like, "Hello."
to Tam. Tam will like,
Yeah.
hello. Um, so are clients or friends? Are we entertaining or are we? What's happening, Tabard? It's like, to be friends. I hope they're interesting. Come on, look at them. They're interesting. And she kind of like leans up on the desk, looking past everybody's like, definitely a diverse crew. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Have you heard
What?
of the Menagerie?
Hey, Tabard mentioned
Ah,
something
okay.
about it.
Dang. Well, that was you ruined the joke. Oh well.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jokes usually I'm bad with jokes.
I'm gonna look at Davis, be like, "We're not that popular yet." Just missing the
I
joke.
mean, she heard of us, but yeah. So sorry we're interrupting your downtime, but yeah, Tabard did bring us here. So uh
Oh, and then Tabard kind of puts his hand up and is like, 1 second. And he's like, Tam, who's shop tea? Anything? And then you'll see her kind of look to this little orb that's next to her. He just kind of looks at it, and for a moment there, you just kind of see like a little like swelling of light and kind of flickers and flashes, and then petters out. And she's like, okay, there's a collection of scrolls over on the shelving to the left by the big vase that you broke, that you refused to get rid of. And then there's the medallion. It points up. That's just hanging. It's like pinned to the wall or to like one of the boards. Like there's
Raptor.
that. Apparently, yeah, Raptor. Thank you. Apparently that's a shop tea. Um. Oh, and then you have a apparently it says a jar of sand.
I
Why
got
do
a
you have a
jar of dirt. I got a jar of
Why do you
dirt.
have a jar of sand? That's all
Hmm.
that we have under shop tea.
Be right back, guys.
Maybe I should have stuffed some sand before I left. If
Is
it
there
sells well, I guess.
is like the sand there really good or something? Like, why
I'm
would
just gonna
people buy
turn to
sand?
Davis and shrug. I
Oh,
don't want to voice it in front of her.
Oh, she, she is like, damn it. Tabard has some great oddities and rarities, but he also just likes to collect some pointless stuff. I think the sand falls under pointless.
that's junk.
Tabard looks at her. It's not junk. it's sentimental.
I
I've
believe some
never,
of these could even be magical items. I could be
oh,
fooled.
for sure. There's this place is full of magic, my friend. And I'm assuming, well, actually, I know by looking at you, Ushapti, obviously. No, I have the jar of sand because I remember it's the first time sand has ever burnt my feet so bad, and I wanted to keep it as a memorabilia. A terrible memory,
Why would you want to remember terrible things?
so that I don't forget it and you learn.
Yeah,
It
that's
is a memory.
But yes, amongst the wonders here, as Tam likes to put it, there's of course junk. But it's junk to one is precious to another. Happens to be precious to me. So I
okay.
would appreciate it if you don't refer to my things as junk. Tam. She just grins.
So why is this stuff all like out on display then? It seems like it's. I mean, it's kind of only meaningful to you. So what's the point of having it out here?
Oh, well, I deal. I trade.
So you're just like hoping somebody thinks that it's not junk and is like, I'd pay 3 gold for that, and you'd be like, I don't know, it's really sentimental for me, something like that.
So, no, not even that. I mean, frankly, if somebody wants something, I'm willing to part with it. But at the same time, they don't have to know what it truly is. If it catches their eye, it catches their eye.
Back.
If they happen to think that, and he'll just grab, I don't know, he'll grab a like a genie's, like what's good, genie's lantern or pot. Like, if they think this is somehow magical, and I place it next to this, and he picks up a vial, like a little glass, like a rather large. It probably holds about half a pint of liquid, and shakes it, and you can see that it goes from dark, uh, like a dark, almost black color to this vibrant red, and they're intrigued by the vial, and they think that this is magical, therefore this must be magical, and they ask about it, and I say it's a liquid that changes colors and possibly has other properties that are yet to be discovered. I'm not lying. They get interested. They purchase.
So it's a half truth.
After,
Hmm.
but it's not a lie. There is
It sort of is.
there's importance in how we use our words, for it's the best way to convey what one is feeling and thinking.
I will say, admitting
Fists
to,
will work too.
I would say, admitting to essentially lying. I know you think you're not lying to people to take advantage of them. Probably not the best way to open up to people you're trying to make friends with.
Uh, True. But why would I tell you if I don't want to only
Also
tell you
true.
what's
Yeah, I
true?
guess if you better than keeping it to yourself and us finding out later. So that's fair.
Because frankly, usually the ones that get swindled are the ones that kind of deserve it. I know I'm not supposed to
More money
judge
than
and
sense
make
kind of guys.
exact.
Uh huh. I will put. I will make the slightest glance at Sesh when I say that.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Like not super obvious, but I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen this.
He's
I'm looking at the Shopty items that she was talking about, just not listening.
So did you head
You
over?
feel the stairs. Come on, man.
Yeah, you might
I
feel a
I
little
felt
bit.
I felt the stairs and broke my like concentration with the items and just started looking around the room.
Okay, are you what parchments? Jar of sand, or well, what are you looking for? There's two of them obvious: the parchments and the talisman that's hanging. The parchments or the jar of sand is not obvious. So what are you looking for?
I'm looking to see what our friend has us do, I guess.
No, I get you, but like, which one would have caught your eye? Like you said, Serge was paying attention to the
The
Ushabti
talismans
talisman. Okay,
that
so
are hanging above.
yeah, you just kind of meander on forward, looking
So are
out.
they as high as they appear in the picture here? Like
Yeah, yeah.
10, 12
I'm
feet
using this
above?
I'm
picture as like
picturing them that they are. Yeah.
yeah. I'm kind of using like this part that you can see is let's just call it pretty accurate,
Okay,
and then everything else that's off screen we're just gonna go high, crazy imagination.
good.
Uh, so yeah, they're up there, and you look, and there's one of like you know a six-pronged star, another one that seems to be circular with a five-pronged star, and then there's the one that of like a square that seems to have a diamond, and you're looking at it. They seem of similar make, however, there are distinct differences amongst them. And Tam will say, "This Shopti is the square one." My
The square one.
yeah, correct.
I'm gonna reach with my trunk and grab it if I can. How tall is it?
Uh, as you okay, as you go to reach it, you realize it's gonna be like out of reach, and then Tabard looks and snaps, and you see just the faintest glimmer, and then something seems to pluck it off the hook and start just drifting it down within reach. Like you still have to reach with your trunk, but at least it moved down to you.
Would our magic casters know what that is?
Sure.
Like would Al or Rock know what that is?
Yeah, it's art.
You know what
It's
kind of
mage hand.
magic
I
that
figured it
is?
was. I
That's
figured it
good
was Mage
customer
Hand. I was,
support.
Yeah,
That's what
it's
that
mage hand.
is.
It's like, here you go, my
I'm
friend.
gonna I'm gonna kind of like hesitate to grab it, but I'm gonna grab it before it like gets away from my trunk and then bring it down to me. I'm just
He
gonna look at it
almost,
for a second.
yeah. And as you grab it, he kind of pulls on a couple of his whiskers. He says, "Apparently that's who stopped you." Tam Tam says it is, so I believe her.
I mean, haven't you been there?
Yeah, but my friend, you kind of lose track. I'm sorry.
Oh, I wouldn't know. If it could have been this like a small island for all I knew.
Oh, um, okay. You've never been. Ushapti is a very large continent, about the same size as this one. However, I didn't mean like in that means. I meant in I had a lifetime of travels and collections.
Huh.
I trust Tam to keep tabs of everything. I
Actually,
know some
I was gonna say,
particular items.
how old? Do we know how old Tabard looks? Like, I don't think we got a sense
He
of how old he is.
yeah,
Teased?
I'd say he doesn't seem to have any grays showing.
Okay.
Um, to give you like a proper description, he as you've met him, he's got this mixed attire of both formal and world weary traveled garb. And originally when you met him, he had a dark fez on, but that got lost,
And then
and
we
then
all
he had
had
to get used.
fences on, thanks
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Rock.
Um, and there seemed to be like a simple like repeating square geometric pattern on the fez. Uh, his fur is of a light orange and light brown, kind of speckled throughout. And then kind of where his chin is and down, and then you lose it in his clothing, but there's this prominent white patch. Uh, he doesn't seem to have any grays. His eyes don't seem cloudy or murky at all.
Okay.
You know, and he does not seem
I mean, and
young.
he did
He also
flips
does
and
not
shit
seem
on
old.
stage, so
Yeah,
he's not
he
like
does not
decrepit.
seem exactly, but he does not seem young. He's not like a teen or anything, but he's
Gotcha.
definitely not old. He's just well. Listen, please take whatever time you need, peruse, browse. I'm here to entertain. Would you like something to drink?
Sure. What do you got?
Uh, well, we have. Let's see. We have decanter of endless water. We have various teas I can get going.
Anything with a little bite?
Um, uh, yes. Strong or just a little?
Uh, I mean, so it's pretty late in the evening, right? It's like 10 or
Yeah,
11,
and
right?
y'all
I
been
think we
eating
just.
and drinking and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, exactly.
Uh, strong. Let's go.
Okay. And then he'll kind of head up the stairs, walk to a portion, and he'll go to a glass, you know, uh, cupboard almost looking thing, basically like a whiskey drawer. Just start opening it, and you hear the clanking of different glass vials and pitchers. It's like nope, nope, ding, and he's like looks at it, swashes it around. This'll do. And he walks back. Okay,
I'll
a
ask
lot of
who's
bites.
who's joining me.
Tam raises one finger. He's like, all right.
Sure. I'll pour a little shot or whatever we're doing.
So yeah, as he hands it to you, you go to pour it, and as you pour it, like the slowest molasses drip
Oh
ever.
boy.
He's just like, it's not going. He's like, uh, just a drop or two, and then mix with water.
Ah.
Trust me. And you get basically like a glug bloop, and then you get the other one a bloop, and then Tabard will kind of come with this decanter, and he kind of shakes it and just puts some quick splashes of with this surprisingly cool water coming out of this decanter, and you see that it like it almost like very quickly just disperses in the water, and it is this deep green color.
I'll.
Absinthe.
It might be.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah. Exactly. I'll offer up the menagerie. Any takers?
I'll reach into my jacket and pull out my own flask. I'm good.
He's like, I mean, very well, but if your friends like it, you're welcome to some.
Sure. I'll take the. So I've got the 2 shot glasses or whatever in my hand. I'll take one over to Tam.
And then
I'll be like,
rock
have you
it.
had this before?
Like, yeah, it'll don't breathe through the nose after you've had a shot. It'll burn.
I've had stuff do exactly that before. Okay. And then knock it
Yeah.
back.
Knock it back. It tastes like nothing for a moment. So you swing it back.
Yeah.
You feel
One
like
big. Yeah. Just like down super
yeah.
fast.
Okay, so yeah, you just kind of trying not to taste it.
Yep.
There's nothing. And then there's just this like creeping, growing of just warmth in your belly. It's getting warmer and warmer. And then you just feel like you kind of got the sweats.
Yeah, I'm trying to play this
Tabard,
super cool as I can in front of Tam.
yeah. And Tam kind of
Mm-hmm.
slowly drinks it, just looks at you and smiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough.
When's
Isn't
it
it?
okay to breathe?
Breathe through the mouth.
Oh, okay.
And you go to breathe, and as you like inhale, then the next thing that comes is loud belch.
Ooh,
And
yeah. Sorry about that.
yeah, no, that
I had a
that's
big
why.
dinner. It's,
No, it's quite alright.
whew, yeah, that's not bad.
It doesn't taste like anything really.
No, but it
Yeah,
it itches
strong.
still. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tabard,
And
stop. That's some decent stuff.
anyone else? Anything else? I mean, I would say, my trove is open to you at this time. Please peruse, ask questions. If anything catches your fancy, I will, you know, I am
So,
here to
Tabard,
assist.
question.
Many answers.
You found us,
I heard rumors of you. And
and
so,
then you
yes,
found us.
exactly.
Why? You say you want to be friends with us, and you say you like us because we're adventurers. But why
Are
us?
these
Surely
good
there's.
rumors?
Yeah.
Hmm?
What kind of rumors? That's a good question.
Well, the most prominent and obvious one is that, well, you lot have made a name for yourselves by liberating one town from a plot that apparently was to harvest the souls of an entire city, which in my book makes you interesting.
Like since I'm like standing here next to Tamsil, I'll just kind of like, as he's telling of our exploits, kind of just be like, yeah, yeah, we did that, just kind of very nonchalant, trying to be nonchalant, but very obviously trying to brag on it. Just be like, yeah, yeah, we did that. But like,
Well, the thing is you obviously had to have had help, but the fact that your group's name is the one that seems to be floating around makes it interesting.
well now, interesting. You should say it's obvious we had to have help. Why is that obvious? And what kind of help do you mean?
So let's put it politely. No matter how wonderful and great your skills are, 6 individuals would not be able to coordinate all the efforts needed. Not saying you wouldn't have been a large part, but you would have needed help using your resources, what's available, and I commend you on that. You saved the town. You saved some friends of mine.
Anyone you care to share? Since we're being friendly and all.
Well, I have a few of his wares here. Where is it? And you see he kind of reaches kind of beyond like a cluster of books and kind of behind it, and he pulls it out, and it's just a glass globe that doesn't have a top on it. It's kind of cut, and in it, it's a little like aquarium scape. He's like, I bet you know who I'm talking about. He just smiles. Works with Seb, makes things,
Are you
wigs.
talking about a certain gold dragonborn kind?
No, I don't think he is.
No,
I'm looking at the pendant still, just.
yeah, just trying to like look at it. Just like, what is
Did he
this?
actually say wigs? I'm sorry. Did I hear you say? Did he
And
say wigs?
he's like, as he's waiting for you guys to answer, he's like, really? Come
No,
on.
no, no, no. You do understand that we need. It's a little give and take here, right? Like we can't just spill all of our details and give you all the information. We need to get some back from you.
No, I understand, and I
Yes,
fully
yes,
wish
yes. We do know
to.
Wiggs, and yes, he did. He was quite the help for sure.
Well,
Very talented
listen.
Oh,
guy.
and here's one on the house. I have some wisdom for you. If you don't ask for help, then what's the use, you know?
Yes, in fact, very wise.
Many heroes don't boast about being able to get the help they need, but you should ask for the help you need when you need it, you know?
Exactly.
You can have that one for free. And I'm gonna look back at the necklace.
The pendant, just like you go back to it. He's like, my, um, if you want to, Sej, you can give me a history check on the pendant to see if anything sparks.
Sure. But I'll let them keep talking.
So Tabard, you know Wiggs, so you know of the Adventurers League then.
Oh, yes, as mentioned on the walk up here, you needed a common place to rest. Hopefully, Bucking Mads will be able to accommodate.
Ooh, nice.
Nice. You don't really know too much about it, other than you've actually seen the square plate with the inlaid diamond pattern before. You've never given it much mind, Sej. It's shown up in some of the more older uh temples, usually like as a central like oversized tile in the center of the temple when you walk in. But
Hmm.
it's always been one singular large tile, and That's kind of it's what it reminds you of. It's about all
Hmm.
you get from it. Uh,
Seems somewhat religious,
mm, Many things can
as
be
is a lot of my
construed as
people.
yeah. Many things can be construed as religious. I mean, you convince people something is special and important enough, you can create your own religion. I mean,
Hmm.
heck, I know Tam would love to create a religion about all her stuffed animals and stuff and plushes, but that ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna let it happen. Can't let it happen.
I'm
So,
actually curious to see if Tam is slighted by that. Does she like? Is
go
she
ahead. Uh,
genuinely
yeah, go for it.
insight 16,
16.
or
Tam
she's
just
just like he's just
you
a
just see
dick?
her. Yeah, you just see Tam just kind of grins.
Okay.
So, and then she
I
kind of
missed.
teddy bear.
I don't remember exactly the description of Tam. Is it
So Tam
like?
is she looks like she's a rather small framed, long-eared elven female with gold hair, pale skin, and she's the one that minds the counter. She's got like a fairly nice, what you can see like uh not dress, but dressed fairly nicely, and something like a darker top. And there's some golden accents on it, and she's
And
just
what was
minding
it that
the
she
counter.
like referred to when looking up stuff? You said it was like some sort of globe or crystal or something.
Yeah, there seems to be like a perhaps like about 8 to 9 inch like uh gold like a metal kind of basin, and in there there's a glass orb, and when she looks at it you saw the glass orb begin to just kind of
Flash. Yeah.
yeah like build up a light and flash, and then she's there and there,
Interesting.
and she'll say yeah so Tabard will be the front. Wiggs is a friend of mine from the past. I will give you that. This is some of his companions that he has entrusted me with. He puts it back down.
So
But,
No, sorry, good.
no, you go ahead.
No, I'm kind of half listening to what's going on, but I'm just kind of looking around at the items he has, just trying to see if there's anything that catches my eye.
you can give me a perception if you wish.
Can I roll the can I flip the coin?
Is it,
Is it charged?
is it
Actually, it
charged?
would
I
have
thought you.
recharged at dusk, right?
Yeah, it would have at dusk. I don't remember when you used it. If you used it late or what, but we'll say it's recharged. That's fine. Okay,
Hey,
so
pa pa pa.
natural 20. What's the total?
For perception,
Mm-hmm.
26.
I mean, yeah, there's gonna be a lot that catches your eyes. There are a well, I'm trying to think how to put it. Because I'm, you know, a lot of the shinier, more presentary pieces, Ragnar, you realize are just there, right? They're for show. They're just to make the place look elegant or fancy. But when you actually take the time to walk around as you've been kind of ignoring Tabard and Tam and the discussion with your friends, and you see Owls just kind of just listening, and Owls is kind of lost, kind of taking in everything. You see that a lot of the things that are of value are unappealing. Like they're easily overlooked. They don't seem special. They're tarnished. They're maybe tucked away to some degree. There's um, but they're essentially yeah. There's definitely things of value here. And as you're kind of passing up the little stepway past the books, you do see that there is a entire section where he has things mounted on the walls and cases for available for viewing. And yeah, there's arms and armories, there's armors, there's uh medallions, gems, there's raw materials, there's various things. Everything everything potentially here is either valuable or worthless. There's nothing really in between,
Okay.
if that makes sense. Like he could sell a lot of the quote unquote worthless things just because they're nice, but they're not
Yeah.
anything special.
Okay.
And well, I mean, you saw him interacting with some of the things, so yeah, you recognize like that there's a decanter of endless water. His alcohol collection as you walk by it is pretty damn spiffy. Like it's up there from what
Can,
you've seen.
can attest. Very good.
Yeah, you recognize what they drink is a very special type of sap that comes from a specific uh trees that only that are only native to the city and coastline area, and the sap is heavily dehydrated even more till it becomes basically like a almost a black green tar, and in that process it compounds and builds the flavor, and for whatever reason it's naturally alcoholic. So
Mm.
it's there are at this point it's the DM saying theater of the mind. If you wish to see, there are things I will say with that 20 natural
6.
2026 on one of the the counters off to the left hand side when you enter, as you've kind of split yourself up from the group. And you do notice that Tabard watches you, but he doesn't seem to care. Like he looks at you walking away, whatever. He's not too concerned, and there's no one else in here right now. It's just the six of you, Tabard and Tam Tam. Uh, and there's a open uh leather bound tome. Uh, it's larger than a book. It's actually a tome, and you see, looking at it, you see scribing, and then you're reading it upside down in common. Very easy to read, very plain language. It's a order log, a request log, an order log. You know, people uh, requesting certain materials or items, uh, and a means to contact them. And then there's also orders placed for things to be produced or acquired. And so you get the sense that Tabard has the abilities to possibly, help fabricate or knows people that are skilled enough to work raw materials as well.
Okay. I'm going to glance through it quickly to see if there's any orders to or from Zarya.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check. You can do it at advantage because you rolled a natural 20 previously. And do mark off your coin, please.
I did 13.
13. Um, for the dozen or so pages that you flip through, there's no mention of Zarya. There's actually really no mention of Greenhill. Uh, Nothing really stands out.
Okay. I'll just keep perusing then.
I'll say Tabard. So, you're friends with Wiggs. I assume you're familiar with Seb, especially since you refer to having known the Adventurers League. Is that accurate?
I know Seb. Yes, wouldn't consider us friends, but I know Seb.
Fair enough. Uh, what are your thoughts on the Sovereign here in Whitlaw?
I I worry, or I feel there has been a decline in his judgment, and over time, perhaps the burdens of his station or the well, it's either the burdens of the station or the allure of his station have clouded his judgment. Perhaps both.
So you say there's been a decline,
Well,
meaning
I mean, it
over
is.
some amount of time, and how long?
Oh, at least a decade, maybe more. I
So
mean, it's a difficult position being the sovereign of exchange, right? It's you're
sure.
responsible for for the upkeep and the well-being of all those within the walls of Whitlaw. You represent the commerce and trade of an entire region. Yet perhaps
If
his concern about his fellow citizens has been lessened.
so, if he's so concerned about his whole region, why did he send nobody to help at Greenhill?
Well, he is a spiteful person. And if you know Seb, I'm gonna guess you know the story.
I mean, is that it? Just his distaste for one person would allow him to let an
As
entire
I
town
said,
fall?
a decline.
I mean, that's a really low decline. Like, he could have. I mean, that doesn't give me much to go on if he's, fallen this far. Like, I don't know where he
Well,
started.
here's the thing. We're assuming that it's because of Seb. Oh, well, the way I paint the picture, let me say, I'm assuming it's because of Seb. However, there are many logistical reasons that could be of merit. If there were as many giants as is mentioned, not a the forces of the verdant cause are not necessarily proficient and trained to be able to handle such things. A few, sure. As I'm told from the stories, there were marching, well, troops of giants, which is seemingly unheard of in the last few hundred years.
I
And
mean,
it was
yeah,
perhaps
it's not like they were like marching dozens at a time, but there were certainly a large number.
well, put it this way, mm, giving the sovereign as much benefit as one can. He didn't want to necessarily possibly send his forces in to just get decimated.
Okay, so don't give him the benefit. What's your honest take? You think it's Seb?
He has been on a. I do not know the man personally. I know of him from being a citizen within these walls for so long.
All right, now I'm gonna insight check. I'm just curious if he's like, for one, does he actually know the sovereign well enough to give
True,
this, or is he just kind of bullshitting?
true.
That's terrible. That is a 9 total. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's
Yep.
like shrug.
Yeah, okay, sure.
I mean, like, so I will say the one thing that, because I'm not gonna make it like we're nine, you don't pick up anything. But he does seem to be adamant about this decline aspect
Yeah,
of the sovereign.
yeah. Like I feel that he's being honest, but like not super open about every last thing. But that's okay. Like that's not inappropriate.
Oh, yeah, and he'll say, listen, Davis and the menagerie and Dregnar, I hope you're finding everything that you were looking for.
Yeah,
Excellent. Um, let me know if you need any assistance. Tam Tam's available.
I'm actually going to start making my way over there because I would have heard what he said and that piqued my interest.
Yeah, I was
What
hoping
about
you would
the
have heard
sovereign?
what we were saying.
Yeah, of course. Like, listen. The sovereign is but one figure. He happens to be the tip of the spear, as it would be said. But there are, the Exchange Council, the old families of Whitlam. You met one of them
Colin?
as he exactly.
Yeah, yeah, I don't like him very much.
You know, his position comes with a lot of stress, right?
You see,
If
you say that about both of these men, and yet I think you're giving them too much credit.
perhaps, but I have no reason not to. The walls stand. The city thrives. People here go on with their lives.
So, Adam, out of game.
Hmm.
Amara was looking for something to help. Was it with her brother or her
Yeah,
father?
her brother.
Okay, that's what I
Her
wanted
Yeah,
to
her
make
brother was
sure.
brother
ill or something.
essentially, yeah, her
Yeah,
brother essentially has, yeah, it was sick. That's all you get.
I just want to make sure what I'm getting ready to say next is appropriate.
Yeah,
So I'm going to look at the cat.
Tabard.
tabard.
Yeah, the cat.
Yeah.
What about his son?
Oh. I hear, if I'm not mistaken, terrible ailment from birth. Much isn't really known about his firstborn.
And his daughter?
Rebellious. All I know.
Actually, at a game, did Dregnar tell us about Amara? I actually don't remember.
Don't think so.
I would have. No, I would have.
Sorry, what
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that would have been, yeah, because I need you guys on my side to kill the sovereign. So, yes.
Okay.
Oh, poor sovereign.
So, yes, I would have told you guys about me seeing the shadows and Amara being his daughter.
Rebellious. Difficult to keep within the city, if I'm not mistaken. Tends to run away. Don't know much.
Any other children?
Mm, not that I'm aware of. But again, I am not. I am just a purveyor of goods and trade. I happen to hear rumors and talk to individuals, but I do not get invited to council meetings or I do not sit at their tables.
Then I'll go back to perusing just around the general area, but I'm going to be paying attention to the conversation.
Or, listen, to all of you, Menagerie, what I do know is that you helped Wiggs, and for that I am grateful, and for that is why I know of your deeds. I am still here to attempt to be of use. One, my services are available. I have many. I can hunt and look for things that might assist you being an adventurer. Uh, I may be able to get special things crafted or enchanted for you. And all I ask is that you think of me when you have things of interest or news. We work together.
So, yeah, we could use friends here in Whitlaw. I do want to, and you may already know this, but frankly, being friends with us may put a bit of a target on your back. May
Uh,
put a bit of a spotlight on things you may not want to have spotlighted because I think, we've brought some attention.
um, I understand. I've had a target on my back most of my life. If
Mind
not
if
me
I ask?
directly, then individuals that I work with or work.
Mind if I ask what that means here in Whitlaw right now? I mean, does the
Oh, it's
sovereign have
quiet
his
for
eyes on
me.
you, or what is it?
No. I mean, Sovereign is interested because of my ledgers and the items that I sell and distribute that he knows about. Uh, but I mean, that is the nature of Whitlaw. Whitlaw is the commerce capital. It needs, it is regulated to an extent. But there are loopholes, and there are ways to get more out of it. Because frankly, let me put it this way: you have, I would imagine that along your adventures, you have encountered things that were magical and not realized they were magical. Correct?
Oh, for sure. Or realize they were magical and then not realize just quite how magical. That sort of
Fair
stuff as
point.
well.
Fair point. As I see your friend, and he points to Rock, has a very interesting piece as it's just His orb is floating around his staff. So that's, for example,
Uh-huh.
uh, not something you see often, if ever, really. Quite frankly, I don't think I know what that is. Very interesting. But the target, as you mentioned, reason for it is, well, things, multiple things. Way to put it. Thing people fear what they do not understand. If there's something magical, they either are interested because they want it for their own gain, or they fear it because they don't understand it. As your as Sej here so elegantly put it, this is a trove of knowledge as well as a trove of things, of treasure. Part of that is the reason of my collection is to understand what is here and how it can be applied for better uses elsewhere. Many things in here do little good on shelves when they could be with adventurers that are, well, trying to do good in this world. We've been fairly fortunate. It's been 268 years since the end of that Black War. Of course, war and conflict still occurs, but nothing on that scale. And part of that is thanks to people wanting to do what's good and right. So,
Well,
well,
when he says that, I'm gonna be like, well, you said you want to win this over. What do you got for us? Initiate the friendship, if you will.
I mean, Dragnar, he's... Well, okay. Go ahead, Talbert. I'm interested in
I
hearing
am
how you respond to
still,
this.
well, first and foremost, I am still a man of business and I must look out for myself. However, you have done great things, and I would like to see to it that you can continue to do great things. And understand that the largest actions are not always the greatest. Sometimes the smaller deeds are just as important. So you do not have to go out and seek the next great adventure. It's not as beside the point. I hear, well, I hear that when you were traveling in, that you had a wagon driver that had some goods. If there is by any means something that I can assist you with, storing them, selling them, allow me, please, and let me know.
You
Uh,
keep bringing these up. It's, I would say a bit... kind of thirsty for them, if you know what I mean.
of course, I'm curious. I
On...
want to know.
I mean, it's just, you know, things.
The thing is, oftentimes wondrous things are lost amongst the mundane.
Well, we'll keep you in mind if we need.
Understood.
And we appreciate the offer, but
Well, please understand. Here, there are many things for you to purchase and for exchange. If you wish to look through potions, I have a collection. Armaments collection. Wondrous trinkets, perhaps something that will catch your fancy and assist you, more than happy. Please understand that not everyone that enters here understands what they are looking at. And I want to be able to, well,
so Tabard, just for fun,
mm,
what's the most interesting or maybe even most powerful thing that you've got here that you can show us? And I'll tell you what, you show me yours, I'll show you mine.
interesting.
I'm gonna walk over with the talisman and hand it
That's
to him.
something big to look at there, Tabard. You may want to watch out. Just
Tam,
saying.
stand back.
Ooh, I've seen it slay more than one person.
Powerful or interesting? Okay.
Yeah, we value both.
Okay. He'll walk up the stairs, heading to one of the shelves that have like different scrolls rolled up, and he'll find one, pull it out, and then he'll motion for y'all to join him. Kind of clears a table. There are no chairs around it. It's, about, a comfortable standing type of table. And he unrolls the scroll, and there are no sparks about it. There are no flair or majesty. It's not even uh like there's no real fancy filigree to it. And he says, "Interesting. This scroll seal holds a tale of the spirit of the Foxwoods, seemingly gone missing, seemingly gone mad with greed because the fire gems had gone missing. Rumor has it that one of the last fire gems came through our fair Whitlaw five, more than a decade ago. Well, more than a decade ago. I believe it's about. He's looking at the scroll. Ah, there it is. About 25 years ago. And it happened to fall into the hands of our fair sovereign. Interesting. Powerful. You want something powerful? Hmm. Tam Tam. Something powerful? I guess they mean brute strength. And she kind of looks at him. She's like, she's kind of looking. She's like, well, I mean, pick your poison. She just kind of like she's leaning over the desk. She's never left behind the counter, and she's just kind of like pointing. She's like the wall, and you just see that there's armaments there, and like weapons are powerful. I guess I don't know what
They
they
can
want.
be, sure.
So
Actually, yeah. So quickly looking, like, do any of them look any in particular
uh, there
interesting?
are some. There are some. It looks like looking them over. There looks like there's some really nice metal crafted weaponry here. Um, use your imagination, right? I'm kind of letting this
Sure, sure, sure,
be.
sure. Well,
Yeah.
so yeah, I guess I'm imagining there's at least some that have like really nice, like, filigree, maybe like stamped metal type
Yeah,
stuff. But do
sure.
any give off any kind of, you know, maybe magical type
I mean,
or like,
just by the craftsmanship, you could
yeah,
easily imagine that some of them are magical. Like there is no like you look at it and
right,
just
yeah, exactly,
magic. There are some really nice looking things. Armor
Do any of
pieces.
these things smell like arcane power?
exactly. I sniff it out.
My staff does.
Ooh.
Does it?
Yes.
Does it do like detect magic or
Uh,
something?
No, my staff.
oh,
Oh,
got you.
Gotcha.
um,
But real quick, as we were going, sorry to cut you off, but Tabard will continue just, you know, as Serge said, a trove of knowledge. The seemingly, hmm, how to put it, insignificant exchange of a gem that's missing going through, the decline of our sovereign,
so would those two events have married in time?
coincided?
Yeah,
Perhaps that's why it's interesting.
that is interesting. Have you heard of any other similar tales? Maybe not with someone such as powerful as the sovereign, but Just kind of an everyday person or anything?
Oh, well, the thing that I've speaking of this tale, right? The fire stones, the fire gems of the fox. They were sought after and collected for centuries, but they were never truly taken away from the rest, where they are from, until a word got out, and then greed took over. Chance of a better future took over, and eventually, where they came from, there were no more. And that apparently is what draw the ire of the fox spirit. Again, it's a story, it's a tale, but it's interesting.
What part of the Foxwoods was this referring to? Because we know Volpine in that area. Is it around there or
Oh, the mountain there in the Foxwoods, the largest
the Snoring Mountain? Is that what it's called? I believe.
one. That would be correct.
Interesting. With that in
Apparently,
mind, go ahead.
hmm? Oh, apparently, rumor has it that that was one of the dens of the fox spirit.
Interesting. Well, fair is fair. You've shown me, I will show you, and then I will summon the glaive and put it down on the table in front of him.
Uh, Go ahead, all of you, give me insight checks.
I guess I'll
And
roll for somebody else roll for Rock. I'll roll for Al.
Okay.
woo, big whopping 12.
Mhm.
That is for Rock, I assume.
Okay.
7 plus whatever his modifier
Okay.
is. I'm not
Got it.
sure.
Okay.
He's
Got
got
it.
like
Got
a billion. Doesn't he have like a billion modifier or something like that?
it. Not for insight. Okay, Al.
Just open up his character sheet.
Want me to roll insight? Is that what I'm?
Yeah, do it for Karos if you would be, for you and for Karos.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. We each have to run. We're each Jaegering one other person.
That's why I'm kind of keeping it like a simple
Yeah,
session
yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah, for sure.
We might even call it a kind of a short session. We'll see. All right. Fun game inside.
I don't have his character sheet open. Did you get him?
God.
Take your time. Like,
You can open it. I mean, it's if you just click on
yeah.
the campaign, you can just click on it. His insight is +8.
Yeah.
I,
He's
I'm gonna be Jaegering Brock, I assume.
Sure.
sure.
Cool. Time for him to learn Fireball.
It's not in his spell book, so I don't think he can.
17.
Oh,
No,
I'm
he's
pretty sure I can
okay.
get it in there.
Sej? Yeah, Sej, you'd pick up on it. No one else really would, even with the other people rolling fairly decent. Um, so Tabard like steps back and is like, oh, like kind of impressed by it. Sej, you kind of pick up he's laying it on a little thick. Like he's not really as impressed as he's acting as he is.
Gotcha.
But it doesn't seem that your allies don't really notice that. He's like, oh, that is
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
cool trick. That is you.
So, as you alluded to earlier, this was one of the many things that we encountered, not realizing quite all what it represented and what it was. And now here it is in the form that you see.
How long have you had this?
Uh,
Let me ask.
actually, I guess it's been like what 3 or 4 months now. I guess I don't
3
know.
or 4 months, yeah.
So I'll say, well, like this, not maybe 2 or 3 months, but I was using it for about a month before it could even do that.
So you say it changed.
It did. And that speaking of Volpine, which we were, that it was sitting in a storeroom in Volpine.
Often the most wonderful things are, well, right in front of you, right? Seemingly not special at all. Well, it's good on you for giving this wonderful, wow,
Now
wonderful
I should
glade
ask your
another
discretion.
chance.
Obviously, the checkpoint at the gates of or the walls of Whitlow. This was not presented, so they probably are unaware of it. Although maybe they are aware of it. I don't think it was exactly a secret that the menagerie. Maybe this was part of the stories. I don't know. So,
Oh, I
but good luck with them trying
I
to
have
take it away. So,
I haven't heard anything about like, you know, the details in the stories don't seem to go down to weaponry.
okay.
Just a group that is a mixed band, liberating Greenhill from the clutches of the bands of giants and ogres.
I mean, and hags,
And
right? That's part of the rumors, I assume, right? Hags.
you know, not really. There's a ritual involved. It's all something about souls, but
Oh
again,
no, it
details.
was Coven of Covens, hags. Never. Yeah, that's not part of it.
Not yet, at least. Not not that I've heard.
Yeah, no, there was. So hags form a coven. I'm just gonna be like mansplaining this to him.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
no.
Like, and I'm sure he
Yes.
knows a lot of it. Yeah, and then we're like, so da da da, nine
Often
hags, da
they
da da.
bicker amongst
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah. These guys, they were, begrudgingly working together, and yeah, no.
That's, that's fascinating. I haven't heard of this type of interaction between, because they are fickle and angry, and they don't like each other. To get 9 of them to cooperate,
Yeah, well,
that
they're
is a certain. Well, I'm assuming you'd explain the goal about
yeah.
bringing back their mother and everything. Like, that would be
Oh, but get
a.
this, like they were totally duped. It was this other thing. What is it? And I'll like look at Al and be like, who is it again? Like crazy guy something.
Oh, we'll just say owls. Remember, he's like
Yeah.
the the Mad Titan with
Yeah,
the
that's the one.
big.
Like he pulled one over on them or something. But like we still stopped it, so it kind of didn't matter. So he was still pissed, but like they weren't gonna get what they wanted, even if they succeeded. So
What
Okay,
they
you've
wanted
given
was
me
no
some.
less than the souls of Greenhill.
Well, now you've given me something I wasn't expecting.
I mean we're friends, right?
I'm gonna nudge up to Rock and be like, "Hey, if you want to make quick friends, you should show them your thumb, if you know what I mean."
That thing, the mummified thumb or whatever it is.
Yeah,
The mummified thumb of a saint.
That's right.
Yeah. So as
it's
as you're
in
kind of
it's in a
having
pickle
this,
jar.
as you're kind of having this exchange, Hubbard walks over, grabs a tome at the. There's one bookshelf that is not full, and it's just different color bound books, and there's maybe a full row of maybe about 30 or so. Not even 30. A full row of like 20. And there's like the beginnings of another row. And maybe he's got about 4 or 5 books on there. 4 books on there. He pulls the 4th book open, flips it, and just starts grabbing a quill, dips it, and just starts writing what you said. Mad.
Yeah, super crazy. And there's a lot of details we haven't even told you, but yeah. So
That maybe we shouldn't tell him. We barely know this guy.
yeah, you're not wrong, but I gotta admit he's pushing all the right buttons for me, and that drink was really good. So
Um, listen, Dregnar, was it? Yes?
You know
Yes.
my name. Don't play coy.
In light of this news, I need time to digest what I was just told. Um, please, if y'all would be so kind, uh, would you be able to return tomorrow, whenever at your leisure? Anything you wish, uh, I will provide a discount. for this information. Thank you. And you just see him kind of disappear
So
beyond
does
like a
so
beaded
does he
curtain.
look confused or just overwhelmed or what?
All of the above?
Okay.
Confused, overwhelmed, concerned, curious. Yeah, like he was not expecting to be told what you told him.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Right.
But what Davis said in character is 100% true, even out of game. Like he's hitting all the marks, so he's
I will
opening all
say,
the doors for Davis.
I will say one thing that you noticed. I'm not even making a roll. One thing you guys notice, you can pretend that you don't, but when he gets done writing what he said and he kind of closes the book and then he puts it back on the shelf, he kind of waves his hand and you see this faint shimmer, and then on his other hand he's clutching the hilt of that sword that he was dancing with,
Oh, nice.
fairly, like he's fairly tightly clutching it, like, and then he just kind of disappears behind a beaded curtain, and you just hear his voice kind of behind the curtain is like, Tam Tam, see them out whenever they're ready, and it just disappears.
So I'll go over to her like, does he always just leave like that in the middle of a?
No, he's usually pretty. No, I haven't seen him do that ever.
Is that good or? That's probably not good.
Was it something we said?
You're kidding, right? Like,
Dreg is just shaking his head.
More like something that he said, not what we said, but you know.
It's probably something I said.
I think it was
Rock, show your thumb.
Rock's like digging through his.
I
Yeah.
think we've spent long enough here that maybe we should return. It's getting late.
Yeah, where are we staying? Did we ever decide? Because
I'm sure Tam Tam could let us know a place that she would recommend since we're such good friends with Tabbert.
yeah, we are good friends. Actually, out of character, had we chosen a place? Like, I
You guys
know
had
we had not.
no.
Okay,
You
well,
guys
I know we
agreed
were
to-
offered the one in the Thorn District, and we were like, no.
So the one in the Thorn District is free if you agree to help the magistrate, but
Yeah,
you
but
can
fuck
also
that guy.
see inquire about a room. Uh,
That was Hemlocks
Debs,
or whatever, right?
yeah, that's Hemlock's. You have the Cleft Skull, which is Jakob's place, which is the friend
Right,
that
which
owes
is where
you
our
your
shit
something.
is.
Potential. Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's where
No,
it's supposed to be.
no. And then you have Bucking Mads, which you've heard about, and if you, I guess when you're inquiring, when you tell your big Tam, Tam is like, well, there is Bucking Mads. It's in the Petal District.
Yeah, we're in the Petal
I,
District, right?
yeah, you're basically at a convergence point between the Petal District, the Lyceum District, on the Caravan Straits. Just follow the straits on the Petal District side, and you'll find it.
Okay.
Thank you, and I will start trying to usher people out.
Hey, when do you open?
Oh, when the sun rises.
Good. I mean, well, Sedge will be up for that, so yeah. Okay.
And speaking of that, may I have the talisman back?
Oh yes, of course. And I hand it over.
By the way, I've left my
you.
glaive on the table. It won't
That's fine.
matter. It won't matter eventually, but I'm curious if they say anything.
She's still behind the desk. Like she
Okay.
can't completely see, what was
Fair
going
enough.
on over there. So, well, yeah, we'll see you, I think, tomorrow then. Enjoy the Festival of Colors. Thank you for visiting Tabert's words.
Tantalizing.
Tabert's Tantalizing Trove.
Yeah, I changed the name too.
And he likes it. It makes him happy. I think part of the reason I got hired is because my name is Tam Tam.
Ah,
He's
yeah.
Tabard, Tam Tam, Tantalizing
Tantalizing
Trove.
Trove, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Thanks. Bye.
Well, have
Out
a
of
good
ga-
night.
out of game, I really don't like this guy.
Really?
I want no. James likes him. Drake can't fucking stand him.
Yeah, got it. Got it.
Davis really does like him because he was flattering. He was complimentary.
Tabaxi?
He was
The Tabaxi or the elf girl? Which one do you not like?
Tabaxi.
Actually,
Tabaxi. The elf girl I have no problem with. It's just I don't like people that flaunt things,
no, I get that.
and he flaunts knowledge.
Yeah.
So anyway, so
No, I get it.
him,
I like that I have such a diverse, divisive NPC right now. Cool.
James likes to
Yeah.
likes to keep
Yeah,
it
but for
relaxed,
the
but
for the
Drake,
party,
mm-mm.
it is a bit
Yeah.
divisive.
Yeah.
Well,
but you- but-
definitely,
but you gotta-
he's not all forthcoming at all. So,
But you
No.
got to think he's a merchant in Whitlaw, so I automatically don't like him to begin
Yeah,
with
fair.
because I believe
Fair.
I believe all the merchants in Whitlaw
Are in league with the sovereign.
are in league with the sovereign.
But
Yeah.
he at least claimed to not really be like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but he also claimed not to tell the truth and be all right with it.
true.
But James, I agree, 100%. I will reiterate, just based off of your natural 20, keep in mind, like, because I do want to keep it kind of theater of the minded. You know, you will be able to find some interesting things. So if you guys are
Okay.
interested in something particular, or just even like something that does something on the lines, should you be interested in dealing with this individual, you have a decent chance.
Okay.
I wasn't
the-
trying to be too greedy. I didn't really
No, I
need
get
to
that.
look around
No,
too hard.
so yeah,
I
you
mean, we'll
guys.
definitely be back. So,
Oh yeah. So you guys just eyeballing. So like the pedal district is, the central portion, kind of where this, where the big white gap or and then the immediate area around it. The central district is kind of like the immediate ring around it. The Cavern Straits is that road that comes in through the north, and then just kind of, yeah, perfect, yeah. So you guys are somewhere like right around, like somewhere around here, right?
And the
And
Lyceum district, that's where like the healers and stuff are at, right?
uh, College of
Oh,
Magic,
yeah.
probably healers. I mean, maybe like it's the College of Magic, the
That's where Al
education,
wants to go.
music. Um,
Well, I thought
but
Meeker had told me because of the wound that I need to go
That
to
was the
the
kneeling
Lyceum district.
Lyceum or Temple, one of those two. So Lyceum because maybe they know
Temple,
like
got it. Yeah,
maybe they know like a one approach, and the Temple might know another approach.
got you. Okay.
Yeah. So as you guys leave Tabards, um, the door you approach the door, you open it, and then as you step out, the door very slowly closes behind you. Doesn't slam. You hear the doorknob turn, and you hear the locking mechanism, but you could have sworn Tam Tam never walked out from behind the counter. And then as you guys are leaving, uh, who's I would say Al, because I know he's got like the highest natural passive perception out of all of y'all. He'll notice as he's kind of walking by that the windows for there are, it seems like they're dark. Like you look in and you can barely see inside. There's much more light inside than there naturally was outside. Just kind of mentions it's off.
Well, I automatically assumed it was like an augmented reality, or not augmented reality, but like an augmented dimension or something like that,
Yeah.
because it was bigger inside than it was outside.
As far as you could tell, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay, boys, I'm tired. I say we go to the tavern.
Yeah. Bucking meds, right? Is that where we're going, or?
That sounds fine to me. Adam, I am keeping a lookout to see if we're being followed.
absolutely, go ahead and give me your perception check. So as you guys step out, there are still the lights and the colors, of the festival of lights going on. You're not necessarily in the heart of the festivities, but you're still fairly close to it. And as it is getting pretty late in that evening, um, there it still seems fairly lively, especially the weekends coming around. But you
12.
guys are able to travel. You don't sense you're being followed. You don't see anyone. You don't really pick up anything. Um, Dragnar. Uh, Karos who's been particularly quiet, will say, "Now, I find this tabard very interesting, and I'm leaning towards liking him."
Yeah, I mean, he's friends with the good people that we like. He was pretty forthcoming. He, you know,
The thing is,
He's definitely a character.
he is a character, but I feel when Davis, you asked him to tell you something powerful or interesting, right? I
yeah.
believe all of us were expecting some sort of weapon or armor piece, but the fact that he told us a story,
Yeah, did anybody else find it kind of cool or weird that it was like gems making you greedy and like making people value wealth and stuff and abandoning other things? Like, I'm not the only one who caught that, right?
Yeah, sounds like something else we disenchanted recently.
Right. Like at first when
Wow.
he was talking about that, I could have sworn he was gonna say like this guy in Volpine found some money, and I was like, oh, he means the sovereign. Oh shit.
Well, the thing is maybe we didn't find all the stash, or maybe someone found the stash and took one out, or
Yeah.
maybe we dropped one somewhere or something.
Or maybe the same person who did the fire gems also did the gems that we found in Simon's place. Maybe they're
Hmm.
just casting a wide net.
Maybe.
I mean, it's too close to be just a coincidence, I feel like. But two
Yeah.
different timelines, that's for
Did
sure.
he know? Like, I kind of almost felt like he knew that we had something like that. Like, that's
Hmm.
an interesting story, sure, but it's like most people would be like, okay, sure, whatever. But it's like it's more interesting to us. Did he know?
Well,
He doesn't seem.
with my experience with merchants, because I work with them a lot of times some of them value knowledge over anything else, especially the comings and goings of people with of influence, wealth, or power.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
we fall into one of those categories. So we automatically should assume that he knows everything about us and maybe placating us to get
oh,
more information from us.
Karos will say, and if he doesn't know everything about us, he'll act as if he does.
Yes.
But the thing is, I think, again, I am not completely familiar with what you had encountered. You've told me the stories on the ride up here, but the time seems more in the realm of them not being related, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, he said this
I
was like 25 years ago or something like that.
I find it interesting. I mean,
But it's
we,
so
we
similar.
it's but the how do I put this? The implications are that things were taken from someone, and he mentioned that mountain that you want to go to, that city, Harvard.
Yeah.
We need to find maybe the history of that area
Yeah.
because I, I don't know. I mean, we've all been exposed to a spirit or special creature in Dregnar, but everywhere you go, you hear tales of spirits and entities and guardians of different regions, lakes, mountains, forests. These stories must exist for a reason. And if the actions of people hundreds of years ago had upset this fox spirit, Perhaps, I don't know, there was a cost, just something to consider.
It would make sense that it would be greed because of what happened with greed at that location in Carver. Greed destroyed the town. They completely ransacked and, you know, strip mined the mountain.
Yeah, I mean, right now they literally just dig up dirt and sell that. Like that's all that's left is
So it
dirt and
would fit.
hope, right? Like people
Yeah.
thinking like I could find something, I could find something. It's like, or I can just dig up dirt.
It would seem a fitting punishment to be consumed by greed because greed consumed the mountain.
Hmm.
Yes, and Al will kind of pipe up. He's like, well, there are also the. I mean, what do foxes represent? He said fox spirit. So what? They're cunning. They're sly.
Yeah.
They
That might
taste good.
be.
Do
Take
they?
your word. I don't know. Can't say I've had fox. Have I had fox? I haven't had fox. Something to try. It's on the bucket list. Fox. And as you guys are kind of walking and heading in a general direction with the door, what was given up along the caravan, excuse me, straits, you do see a another one of those stone like buildings, which seems to be the majority of Carver is of Whitlaw, or the stone, gray stone, tan stone buildings, seemingly well maintained. Uh, there very much is an a tavern-like looking exterior to one, in that there are individuals outside of it, um, with some tankards. There seems to be some hooks or on the arches that have some lanterns affixed to them, and but there doesn't seem to be a sign. And as you start to approach, can I give perception checks from everybody? And it could just be the three of you guys. It doesn't need to be everybody
Oh,
else. It's fine.
okay.
It can just be the three active players.
Maybe it should be everybody else.
It's not
Yeah,
that.
yeah, maybe it should be everybody else.
No, it's fine. Davis, you're just kind of like taking more of like the conversation. Dregnar and Sej, but you hear it before you approach. But there's someone on the side of the building just kind of relieving themselves, just kind of pissing off to the side.
Adam, you have a
But
familiar.
oh, fun point. It's usually Jones. I wasn't expecting
Yeah,
it to be fun
no.
point. It's like, hey, Punch Cool, are you bored? Hey, buddy.
While we're walking, are we gonna pass by any like festival of colors like bonfires or
If you wish to,
anything like
I'll
that?
allow it.
No.
I mean, you would have.
If we do,
Okay.
while we pass by, I'm going to thaumaturge the the fire into
Okay.
like a really royal blue color,
Dig it.
just to see the reaction and keep walking.
Yeah, you'll find like I almost want to say like a trash can fire, but obviously it's not. Like it's a set like barrel, where people are around it and it's being fired, and people are having like are roasting pretty like simple eateries such as like say festive sausages and stuff. And then as the fire's licking up, you kind of give it that oomph and it's blue, and then people like, oh, some people like freak out momentarily, and then it subsides, and they're like, you hear them chattering like, "Did you see that? What happened? It must be a sign." People dig it. They don't know what it is.
I'll just look at Davis, be like, I think I terrified them. Oops.
Cool.
Rush back to the crowd.
Cool.
No, not the crowd. Rush back to the group.
Mhm.
Get back. No.
You just keep doing different colors. There's like green, yellow, red. There's like ah.
Hey, Rock, I bet you can't do better than that.
Rock like snaps his fingers like. Hey, you pick a color, James. You're running him.
We're gonna go with like a bright
Hmm.
purple
Okay.
to
So
kind of
as they
match his
like,
character sheet.
gotcha. So as like they recoil and then like reconvene around it, they start to the chattering because and the rock kind of does that and then it flares back up and it's purple and then it's and like okay this is getting weird and then you just see like some people that drop their like the sausage on a stick and just start walking and bolting away and you hear one individual like just straight up scream and run but it's not enough to fully disturb the whole crowd. It's just in that general area.
To Bucking Meds.
Okay.
To the dash.
So yeah,
We're
does that
just out here terrorizing the people, just
or
celebrating and shit.
locals? So all right.
I thought I should move to Green Hill. That
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
So so yes. Um as you enter or as you enter, I guess the space that you see a few people outside drinking and gathered, and you step in, and it's a fairly lively, as it is, Friday, and it is the Festival of Colors. Um, a open square space that has this one side of it is just long bench-like seating. There's probably about four long tables with benches on each side. Uh, then on the opposite side, there's essentially the bar area, or like where you can be greeted, and there's a few individuals back there that seem to be slinging different beverages, and there is some food items, and on the back wall there's like a three-tiered shelving that just has different kegs and barrels all lined and laying there. There's a few decorative shields on the walls and some different banners that seem to be there permanently amongst the different streamers and the rafters of the various colors that seem to be celebratory. Um, and there's a few little mm, like light sources as far as like candle sconces, and there is a hearth that has some fire. Uh, and as you're walking in, there's probably 30 to 40 individuals just eyeballing it. I guess I should change the music.
Like all very obviously, or are they kind of just like side eye looking?
Oh no, they don't even really pay you guys much meat. They're
Oh,
amongst
okay.
themselves. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like it's. Sorry, I was saying I should change the music. I was trying to find some more
Gotcha.
not tabard music.
Uh, I guess if there's like so the nearest like service area, I guess behind the bar or whatever.
Yeah. So as you're kind of stepping in as a group, uh, a uh, a let's call it a full-blooded orc will see you and say, "Welcome. We'll get right to you. And you kind of please just wherever we'll find you." And then you see that there's a couple ladies and guys walking around, you know, slinging the beverages around and everything. Seems pretty lively. Nothing crazy.
I mean, I think we're looking for rest, but I could take it for nightcap. You want a nightcap?
Uh,
Sure.
We
Sure.
could discuss. Yeah, we could discuss tabard and next steps and things like that.
very well. What can I get you?
First, how much is the rooms if we were to
Yeah, we
stay
need
here as well?
rooms for
That
all of
might guide
us.
us with our drinking habits, if you will.
For what? A lot of you?
Yep.
Separate? Together? What do you need?
Stay separate, but we could maybe bunk if need be. What's this? What's the cost? You got rooms
There's,
for us?
um, let me see. And he kind of walks off and he gets the attention of a, a kind of a reddish skinned, braided hair, a Khemri female approaches y'all and says, "So y'all need rooms. One, two. So unfortunately, we don't have enough rooms for the lot of
Sure,
you,
just
unless if
three
you're
rooms, so we'll bunk up.
three. Can you do 2 rooms?
Can they sleep 3 each?
I mean, there's gonna be some floor space. We can bring in some matting.
Yeah.
Sure, we could do that. I'll take the floor.
Excellent. Well, in that case, the rooms, as it is the Festival of Colors, will run you, it's 7 silver for tonight each, and first drink is on the house.
Seems like a fair deal to me. What do you guys think?
Sure.
Sure.
Actually, does that seem like a fair deal? It seems like slightly pricey, but given the festival, I thought maybe it was just reasonable.
Yeah, that she did say it's the festival.
I'm just gonna hand over the 2 rooms in silver.
Okay.
Damn, thanks, man.
Someone always has the monies. There you go.
Y'all just have whatever your best ale.
Very well. 6 ales coming up.
Actually, I kind of feel a bit of a difference today. Maybe do you have any cider? I want to try something like that. Something sweet.
Uh, maybe it's kind of the off season for cider. Let me see if we got any left. And you
Ah,
just kind of see him go, and there's nothing, and you just see him kind of walk and start going to where like the back wall is, where there's one of the kegs. And he's just looking. He knocks on one, like, grabs it, starts coming back, and it's like, it's not a massive keg. It's that's one of those ones that you can carry on your shoulder. Brings it back. Cider, and then he kind of gets, gets whatever he can, stick it in it, and then pours what's left of it. There you go. 5 ales and a cider. On the
I'm
house,
gonna
if you're staying.
I'm gonna do like an Eastern Bound, grab it with both hands
He'll,
under the cup.
yeah, he'll be like, enjoy.
Appreciate it.
Make yourselves comfortable. If you need anything, just come back up, or you see them running. Get their attention.
Got it.
And I'll grab the handle of whatever he gave me with my trunk
Nice.
and walk away.
So there are no, to give you, as you guys look around, there are no private areas or benches. There
Is it
is,
kind of loud enough, like over? You know how like a bar tends to sound at like
yeah,
10
there,
p.m.
there there's enough of like a background noise and everything where you feel you're talking normally, it'll be pretty hard to pick up on your conversations.
Is anybody performing right now?
Contrary to the music, no, there are no performances right now.
How? Do you feel like entertaining us with a song? Or a poem? Or whatever it is you do?
Maybe you put your hat out or whatever have you to maybe they'll feel so inclined to pay for your room.
And then I'll kind of lean in out. I'm trying to get the attention away from us so we can talk.
Oh, you try it right. It's probably a bad idea then.
I
Um,
mean, we could just talk in our rooms if we really need, right?
Yeah.
Al's like, I mean, I don't know what they would want to listen to. Wait,
Listen,
okay,
listen. We don't have a real good history of. They don't really like us, our style of stuff here in Whitlaw. I mean, Al's more diverse and he can, but like when the rabble rousers came here, we were not welcome. So
Well, we
but I don't
live
want Al, I don't want to put Al
honestly.
through that. So
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, I don't think out of game. I don't think I was with you when you guys did
no,
that.
you definitely weren't. This was before
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, so they don't like Al.
I mean, it
hey,
was
hey, hey,
us
hey.
as a group.
Like
Yeah,
me plenty. It's
they
just they
might
didn't
not
like
have
what we were
liked
doing.
the fire breathing and all this other stuff. They weren't ready for it.
Rest in peace, Orvis.
Oh man, I forgot. Freaking Orbis, love that dude.
Well,
He
let's
was
retire.
great.
Let's retire to our rooms. That way we can figure out what we're going to do. I know there's something I want to do, but it can wait till morning.
All right, well,
Fair enough. And then down the entire ale all in one, slam it on the table, and walk up.
okay.
I'm gonna stay up a little bit and sip my cider and see if anything interesting happens in tavern.
Okay.
Maybe like an hour or so, just kind of
People watch.
people watch.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sure.
You gonna die?
maybe.
Roll initiative.
Yeah, no. So as you guys retreat, not entirely sure where to go, you swing by the front. The Camry lady
Yeah.
gives you
Where's our?
2 keys.
Thank you.
She's like, just follow, see the wall with the where the shields stop. You want to go down that hallway, and then you'll find your station above.
Is it on the key? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Room 5. Okay. Cool. Got it.
Yeah, on the yeah. So 5 and 6
Thank you.
next to each other. And this, at least we had that.
Yeah. Nice.
Now, as you guys, the 5 of you go up, says you're just there. They're down below where you're at. So it's just individuals. They're chatting. Some of them start to like kind of get into some sort of festive song. The diversity is fairly well spread out here. You see humans, halflings, gnomes, a Goliath, uh, half orcs, different genasies, tieflings. It's very eclectic in here. A smattering of male and female representation, uh, and there, it's just people drinking and enjoying. You can, I don't know if you're like anything for a reason down here, but as of right now, nothing jumps out at you. Let's say.
No reason. I'm just trying to wanted to like sip my ale or cider and see if anybody like seems out of place or it's just something wasn't really done with the night, I guess. But
I understand.
all the while, anything interesting being talked about that I could catch?
Go ahead and give me a perception check. Which I always want to say with advantage because I think of your ears, but then I'm like, wait, no, it's just sprung. You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
um, really, even as much as you try to focus on some of the conversations, you hear them talking about, the festival games. You hear a couple lots say that they heard of 2 people, a half orc and a Leonin that apparently tossed the kegs super far.
Huh. Imagine
Uh,
that.
but no real. Maybe
Sounds
get
like
like a
fun
little
stuff.
grin. Yeah, you get like a
Yeah.
grin out of that, but nothing. And then the whole course of the hour or so, no one really gets up to perform. There doesn't even really seem to be a place for performing. You're watching, and the the beverages are flowing fairly easily. There is no real commotion. It's a pretty chill, peaceful night.
God, what a calm tavern. So boring. I'm kidding. I'm gonna realize. Oh shoot! I don't know where their rooms are. I better go ask. I get up and walk out and see if I could find the orc or person that
Okay.
gave him the key that we were talking to earlier.
Yeah, you see the orc, he's busy, and he looks at you, and he just points over to the lady, and you kind of walk over to the Camry, and she's like, uh, um, 5 and 6, if I remember, Sunny.
Oh, thank you so much. I'll see you
Hmm.
bright and early tomorrow, right?
Where the shields stop, bright and early, not our thing, but where the shields
Hmm.
stop, take the walkway. You kind of follow the wall, and go ahead and give me a perception check.
Perception. Another one.
Right
Let's
on.
Okay,
go.
not bad. All right, I'll come back to that. The group that's been up in the room for about an hour.
Yeah.
Y'all,
We need to figure out It's a laundry list of things tomorrow, so we need to go back to Tabards at some point. He said whenever, so whenever. Al, I think, wanted to go to the Lyceum district, right? And I think, I mean, I know those colleges have like information and stuff. We could probably do some research there, right? I see.
Mm.
Looking at Al.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's got to be a whole bunch. I mean, there's the College of Fascinations and everything from what we were told, and I think Meeker said something about Dregnar checking out. Maybe we can get some help for him. I don't know how much we
Oh,
want
right.
to make his affliction known right now, but I
Yeah.
mean, we need to help him, right? So yeah,
What
there's a lot.
else? Yeah, so, I mean, eventually I'd like, well, depending upon what we find out, I would like to try and see if I can. You know, actually, it's probably not a good idea to take my glaive to show it to. I mean, so Tabard I was cool showing it with because I think he's cool, but and I'm sure, and I look over at Dregnar waiting for him to probably growl. But I'll say,
Carlos would be cool individual.
yeah. Uh, but I was thinking I would take this to like a blacksmith or someone to look at, but they might ask like why it's not tied up and why I'm allowed to just have it out freely. So I think that may be asking or inviting too many questions.
No. Or, who did I say picked up on? It was Sej, right? That picked it up. Yeah, Sej. Never mind. Carlos will just say, who knows? Maybe we can exchange some more information and talk. And maybe there's someone Tabard knows that can take a look at it.
Oh, and our stuff. Our stuff is at the with that Jakob guy at the Cleft Skull, and Tabard seems real eager to get his mitts on it. But as much as I trust the guy, it was a little bit weird.
And Al will just kind of look at Dregnar. He's like, is it really that weird? I mean, merchants, right? Right, Dregnar?
Both of you guys are muted if you're saying anything.
Who, me?
No. The
Oh,
James.
James and Donnie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, James, you're still muted, actually. He might have had to step away. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
I'm still here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just outside.
Oh,
no,
that's right.
yeah.
You're actually not even in this conversation. So yeah, that's true. I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm making my way down there, okay?
Making my way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So at some point we need to get our stuff. I mean that can wait. But yeah, tomorrow I think it'd be nice if we hit up the Lyceum district for Al and maybe Dregnar, and then back to Tabards at some point.
and then Dregnar will say, and then Rock will be like, and then we're going festival, right?
Oh yeah. I mean that's gonna be going on the whole time. So
Yeah, but it was fun. I like the fun.
yeah, it was fun. I mean the lantern. Oh, no, the lanterns are on Sunday. So because that was what. The lady outside, the lady at the front. She said something about the lanterns on the last day, so we can do
Yeah,
that.
they.
Yeah, that's not tomorrow. That's the day after. So.
Welcome back. Dregnar, one thing we didn't know that you stepped out. Sorry, we missed that. They mentioned the stuff at the trophies that y'all brought in, how Tabard seemed interested in it, and then Al asked you, is like, is that completely not normal for merchants? Don't merchants want things and stuff, right, Dregnar?
Well, yeah, they do, but
He was
they
really
do
eager.
want stuff. He was really, really eager to know what we had, which let's think about that. Who do we tell that we had those items?
I mean, Meeker knew.
So I'm more wanting to know, how did he find out we had those items?
Well, didn't he say he was? This is Al. Did he say that he was friends with Wiggs?
Yes, but Wiggs, unless Wiggs sent word.
He could have, right?
You're right. He
But
may have sent word. That makes sense.
But why would Wig send word?
Just letting him know that a
Yeah,
friends
they're
were coming.
buds.
I don't know. You're right. We don't know. We didn't ask. We actually didn't ask. How does he know we have the things?
Yeah, we
Now
did.
the thing is, yeah, he would be interested in it if we want to offload it. That's fine. I just want to make sure that it's not going to be used for, you know, nefarious purposes.
Yeah, understood.
Because like I have the Heartstone, and I don't think I'm going to risk reattuning into it. And if somebody else doesn't want it, it's one of those things we may want to get rid of as well. I
Yeah.
don't know, but do I want to necessarily trade it to him?
Supposed to speak up. Well, there are two things, right? If he's willing to, I mean, perhaps we can trade some of the supplies we have, or he knows people that can. He mentioned he knows people that can craft and create. Perhaps we can get some things made that will assist us. He seems to want to help adventurers. And on your Hearthstone, I've been through Whitlaw before, and they do have, as you mentioned, the Lyceum District and the College of Fascinations and the museums. Perhaps it's somewhere that piece can find its new home.
Yeah.
Perhaps getting us a favor or something with them.
Yeah, I'd just be
That
afraid of drawing a lot of attention.
and that's what I was getting ready to say. He now knows about the hags, so it's easy to explain that we found this with hags because there is negative energy with it. And I kind of look at Rock and then Al, understanding of those that use magical arts, they always ask a lot of questions. And I don't know if I want people knowing that we're toting around items from of certain origins.
Right. Although, actually, and also out of character, or not out of character, but James, we also mentioned seeking help for your wound.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to go in the morning.
Okay,
I'm going
so
to
we
go.
were
Yeah.
sure we said we were talking about we weren't sure how like widely known we wanted to make it that you had such a thing.
Well, I was going to go like try to see who the best out of game. This was my plan. Try to figure out who the most recommended
Right.
healer is, and then go in and pose in hypotheticals
Sure.
because it also depends on how we walk in. If I walk in like, oh look, it's a Crash Menagerie member, it's actually going to open up. Though, well, this is some of the things I've seen. Could you help me out with this?
Asking for a friend.
Yes. Well, yeah. Asking for a friend. It's the orc. It's always the orc. Don't. It's that guy.
Whoa.
But yeah, so that was what my plan was in the morning. I didn't know if because I'm torn. I don't want you guys to go see Tabard without me.
Okay.
Just from the perspective, the protective perspective. But then again, I really don't like being around him. So we'll
Yeah.
just play that out.
So I think the plan, Lyceum District. I think we can just all go. I think we've all got something to accomplish there. Karos, do you have anything to do there? I don't know. I mean, we don't
I mean,
necessarily all have to go, but
no, we might as well stick together, right?
sure.
Look around.
Yeah, and frankly, I'm kind of better. I'm kind of glad we are just in two different rooms. Like, 6 rooms would have been too much. Uh, yeah, so I see him district. Rock, I won't forget. Yes, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna see the festival. I mean, it's all right in the middle of town. We're gonna definitely swing by that. And then Tabards, I guess.
Sounds like a plan. Adam, before we go to bed, I do want to do history checks. Just let me know.
Too. So said, going back to you and your perception check,
Mm-hmm.
as you're walking in the direction that they tell you to walk, you pick up a few more like muddled voices, and you're trying to like you think maybe it's the booze getting to you, and you kind of look around. You hear the people in the tavern, but then you hear more sound, and you're trying to pinpoint it, and then you kind of put your ear to the wall, and then you just kind of you start dragging your head down, and you hear some conversations below foot.
Below foot?
Hmm.
Like in a sewer?
Or basement.
I don't know if it's a sewer or basement or something.
Like one of those shut-in basements?
Maybe. I don't know. You're not sure. You don't see a way to get in there, but you can't make out the conversations, but you hear there has to be conversations below you.
Hmm. Are there a lot of people around? Am I like in an alley?
You're basically like a walk like a corridor inside the tavern that's gonna lead you up to stairs that lead up to the where they told you room 5 and 6 were.
Oh yeah, that's right. Is there anybody in the hallway?
Not right now.
I'm gonna try to listen in on the bottom like baseboards. See if there's anything I could pick up.
Yeah, as you're trying to listen in, I'm still going with that perception check. You just hear. It sounds like there's vo discussions below. Like a few people. Nothing like there. It's not rowdy. It's not loud. I just happened to pick up on a.
It's not like hostile or
No, 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 not nothing like
it's
that.
like the commotion from the bar.
Yeah, but it's
Okay,
not from the bar. It's from below you.
got you.
And commotion of a lot less people.
I'm gonna keep moving then.
Okay.
No big deal. I'm gonna try to find my way to 5 and 6. I think it was.
Mhm.
She
You
said at the shield.
Yeah, get past the fields, walk up and you get there, and then you do find rooms 5 and room 6. You knock on one of them, the door doesn't answer. You go to the next one, you knock, and your friends.
Oh, hey, welcome back.
Hey, sorry, I was kind of just babying my cider.
That's fair. We were just discussing what we're gonna do tomorrow. Sounds like Lyceum District, hang out and catch a little bit of the festival, and then back to Tabards for further discussion.
Just so you know, that tabard fellow, I close the door before I go on behind me. And then I make sure it's locked, I guess. He doesn't seem he seems like an alright person, but um he's a little insistent, don't you think? I think you were thinking the same thing as I was.
Uh,
We've
I
had this discussion a lot today, but just my 2 cents.
I only thought he was insistent about the goods that we brought with us. Otherwise, I thought he was pretty spot on with what we represent, what we like, what our goals are, and what we could do.
Just so you're aware, when you were showing off your artifact to him, I don't know if you picked it up, but it seemed pretty odd to me. He was kind of acting. He
Like acting how?
seems like he was feigning interest, I think. And I think he has it feels like there could be a subtle ulterior motive here.
Nah, he
He,
he thought it
and
was
it could be a
cool. Like
decent
what?
guy still, you know?
He thought it was cool. Like who wouldn't think that was cool?
I think it's fantastic, but I think he was overblowing it a little bit. That's just me, though. I
Huh.
could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
I mean, he did say he isn't above lying to people to kind of get what they want, get what he wants, right? So, huh?
Yeah, but a particularly cursed set of items that he's zoomed in on is a little concerning to me. Something's off about this whole situation, and I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, I, I, I'm. Man, that actually kind of throws me for a loop. I want to trust him.
It's
He
like
sounds like he's
it's
saying
like
all the
we
right
walked in
things.
the door and he already knew that we had something that he was looking for, and he told us the description of the item without us
Mm-hmm.
even talking about it in the first place. We never even showed him anything like that. And he said exactly what we were holding.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little fishy. That's just my Loxodon wisdom talking to me. And if I'm wrong,
Ah, that's a good catch.
Look at that trunk. He can sniff out bullshit.
I was just looking at that talisman, but I was listening, yes.
That's a good catch.
Well, I'm getting ready to figure something out.
History it.
Because what I was going to do is I want to know where he went after he left us.
That was like recent history.
Recent history.
That's hard. Okay,
Yeah.
that's real
I
hard.
was gonna say recent as in the last couple hours.
That's real hard.
So let's see here. Yeah. Come on, baby. Oh, you son of a 15.
You see an image of him going beyond the curtains and walking down like a little bit of a corridor and into a room. Sits down and starts thinking.
Okay. Second thing. Did he or how did he have prior knowledge of us, the Crash Menagerie, or things with us before we got here?
Okay, I will say one thing. When he sits down, the one thing he does, he takes his sheath blade and hangs it, like puts it on the wall.
Okay.
That's one other thing.
Do I glean anything else from the room that he's in?
Not enough details.
Okay. And then I'm gonna try to see if I can discern how he found out or knows what he knows about us. I know it's kind of recent as well, last couple of days.
Yeah.
So here we go. Come on, baby. Don't do me wrong. Not 20 bitches! 26!
Still recent history, so it's still pretty hard.
Woo!
Nope. It's an auto success. That's how it works.
Hey, that's true.
You get images and flashes of just Tabard walking. So the first one is like Tabard's walking just down an industry street, likely in Whitlaw, just by the architecture around that the shadows are posing for you. And you just hear rumors of events that are happening south that people are whispering that there's more going on than just giants. Then there's like a little bit of like a shift, and then you see him outside in what looks like a park, sitting on a bench, kind of in a relaxed kind of manner, and he's mulling it over, and then someone that you can't really make out their form sits with him and is talking about that they're hearing that there are multiple groups working to push back the ogres and giants and helping Greenhill. Then it kind of shifts, and he's walking in another building that he towards a door, and as he opens the door, um, a figure approaches him and is saying that um, a band known as the Crass Menagerie seemingly helped liberate Greenhill Professor, and then he walks by, and you see
Hold on 1 second. Someone called him professor, or he called someone professor?
they called him Professor.
Got it. Okay.
And then you see him walk into an auditorium, and then before him is like 5 or 6 rows of seating, and people are all throughout seated, and he's walking up to like a, a podium to speak. And then the last one that you see is
That's a kitty, Professor. Am I
and
right
then
or am
the
I
last
wrong?
one that you see is um it flashes to the gates of Whitlaw, and uh, amongst the individuals near the gate, you see him just leaning casually, looking as a band of people are being escorted by the magistrate, Minister of Justice, that very much look like y'all.
That's a sexy ass dwarf.
Woo.
And he began following.
Okay. So when I come out of my trance, I will relay what I gleaned from them, both explaining the right after he left us and then the recent events, and I will kind of key in on two things. One, there were rumors that there were more than giants before we finished in Green Hill, so somebody knew something, that it was more than just giants and ogres down there. And the second would be the professor remark and him going in front of 5 or 6 rows of people that I couldn't make out and telling them information.
So just from a timing perspective, how long does your trance stuff take? And like, we would probably just be asleep. Huh?
It's 1 hour.
Oh.
It's like a short rest. Like I go in, I do basically like a short rest, and I just sit there and meditate for an hour. So you could still be awake, or you could be asleep. It's up to you.
I figured either way we would hear it in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say y'all have had libations and an eventful evening, so it's fair to say that sleep finds y'all fairly quickly, unless somebody wants to fight it.
Adam, I do have a couple of things. The room we're in, is it an outward-facing room, or is it inside the building? Like, there's no outside walls. Like, is
As
there
far as
one
you know, as
like
far
a
as you
window or something?
know, there. Oh, I get what you're saying.
Interior
There
room or
are no windows.
There are no windows, so it's an interior room as far as we know.
Yeah,
So the only way in and out is the one door.
yeah.
Okay.
as far as you know.
Great.
As far as I know, correct. I will sleep with my back to the door.
Gotcha. Like on the propped up on the door.
Yep.
Okay.
Like
Yep.
like my knees up, my head into my knees and my arms over it, but my back against the door.
Understood. So who's in what rooms? Are we gonna say the 3 of you that are here in one room, the 3 that are not here in another room?
Yeah, that way they can die.
I don't know. Me and Al tend to bunk though.
I bet you do.
Whoa.
I mean, David's been traveling with these people for a while now.
True.
It's up to you. However you want to take it up.
Yeah, that's fine. We can just do it this way. It's easier.
Okay.
Roll initiative.
Now roll to fall asleep. Unless if somebody is fighting to fall asleep, there were the extra like pillow and matting brought into both rooms. So as you guys are getting ready to sleep,
I get
there's
to bed.
enough.
Yeah, fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, easy enough for y'all to sleep.
And then
And fairly-
Sedge can put his elephant self in front of the door. So he said he was sleeping on the floor anyway.
There we go. Okay. And sleep comes to y'all. Fairly peaceful sleep. You know, I would imagine many of y'all have some good dreams of different colors and fun and activities that y'all had experienced.
I'm kind of thinking this is like the first time we've actually slept without having a guard up.
And not under a dome.
Yeah, and not under a dome. Yeah.
Well, I guess we've been in the tower a lot lately.
Yeah. And we'll go ahead and take our break there, I guess.